Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. So in this today tutorial, I am going to show you the complete syllabus of Selenium course. Okay, the complete syllabus of Selenium course I am going to show you now. And also, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And also, don't forget to watch this video till the end. If you are going to start your career as an automation test engineer with the help of Selenium. Okay, so let's get started with our complete syllabus of Selenium course. Okay, before that we have to know what is automation testing, right? So here, what is an automation testing? Making testing process automated using the tools like qtp or Selenium. So then it is called as automation testing. Okay, we already know about this, what is automation testing. And also, in other words, we can tell it as it is a process of identifying various functionalities in the project which needs to be repeatedly tested, then developing and executing the automation programs to validate the functionalities. Okay, so here automation testing is applicable only for maintenance projects like banking projects, insurance projects, or ERP projects, as well as CRM projects, as well as some public related applications also there. So for those and all, this automation testing is applicable. Okay, means it is applicable only for the maintenance projects. Okay, so now I am going to show you the complete syllabus of Selenium automation testing. Okay, so here you can see I listed down all the concepts where we are going to learn when we are going for automation testing. Okay, so here, so I will start it from starting. Okay, the first concept here is component of Selenium. Okay, the first concept here is what are the different components of Selenium. Okay, what are the different components of Selenium? So for that, so we have already know the first component here is Selenium IDE as well as Selenium RC. So let me open. Okay, so let me open that. First, what are the different components are available in Selenium. Okay, so here you can see the first component is Selenium IDE, the second component is Selenium RC, nothing but remote control, the next component is Selenium WebDriver, and the next component is Selenium Grid. Okay, so first we need to understand what is Selenium IDE here. Okay, so this is a Firefox plugin which is used to record and playback like operations to perform on the Firefox browser. Okay, Selenium IDE does not support any programming language. Okay, so this is the first component of Selenium, that is Selenium IDE. When you come to the next component, that is Selenium RC. Okay, so here RC is nothing but remote control, that is called as Selenium remote control. Okay, so it is the first programming version in Selenium used for web application testing. Okay, here Selenium RC is the first programming version, okay, to use for web application testing. And also this Selenium RC supports for multiple browsers, and also it will supports for multiple programming languages as well. Okay, so here languages means like Java language, Python, and .NET, etc. Okay, so for all these is going to be supported by Selenium RC, that is Selenium remote control. Okay, then the next one is Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so this Selenium WebDriver is the enhanced version of Selenium remote control, and which is also used for web application testing. And this Selenium WebDriver supports multiple supports multiple browsers and multiple programming languages as well. And this Selenium WebDriver supports the following programming languages such as Java, C#, .NET, Python, Perl, etc. Okay, and when you come to Selenium Grid, it is also a component of Selenium where we can do some cross-browser testings by creating one hub and one node. Okay, so these are all about the concept called components of Selenium. So the next concept here is, so how to download and configure in the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, how to download and configure the Selenium WebDriver. First we need to download the Selenium jar file, and we need to add that jar file to our project inside our Eclipse, right? If you are working with non-Maven project, you can directly download this Selenium jar file from seleniumhq.org website, and you can add it inside your Eclipse by going to your project build path. So there you can see properties. After clicking on that one, then you can add this as external jar file. Okay, if you are using as a Maven project, if you are working with Maven project, so then simply add this dependency by taking from central repository, that is Maven repository, and add into your pom.xml file, that is project object management.xml file. Okay, like dependency we are going to add here. Okay, so then the next concept here is launch application under test on various browsers. Okay, launch application under test on various browsers. So here you can see, okay, we already know that Selenium will support multiple browsers, right? So in that way we can launch our applications on different kinds of browsers. The first browser here is Firefox browser, the next browser here is Edge browser, and the next one here is Chrome browser, and the next one here is IE browser, and the last one here is Safari browser. Okay, the last one here is Safari browsers. So here Selenium 2. After Selenium 2.0 version, by defaultly the Selenium will support Firefox browser. After that, here Selenium WebDriver is an interface which is implementing the Firefox driver, Chrome driver, Edge driver, IE driver, and Safari driver, right? So as we know already about all these things, so how we can launch the applications on different browsers means, so with the help of WebDriver, creating an object WebDriver driver equals to new Chrome driver, WebDriver driver equals to new Firefox driver. At the same time, if you are working with some different browsers means, so how we can create a driver instance here, with the help of system.setProperty, we need to mention the corresponding driver, and also we have to mention the corresponding driver location path where you stored inside our project. Okay, so once that is done, we are going to use driver.get method to launch our application. Okay, so this is how, for example, if I want to launch my Google, okay, so I can use like driver.get https://google.com. okay, in that way we can launch our application on different kinds of browsers. Okay, and also, so next concept here is how to capture the title of the current page. Okay, how we can capture the title of current page means, so how we can capture. So by the way, I will tell you what you are seeing here, right? What is this one? Okay, so for example, we have PowerPoint presentation, Word files, TXT files, CSV files to store all our data. So in the same way, I am using currently this one we called as Xmind. Okay, so with this Xmind we can create a beautiful pictorial representation and also graphical representation. I will give one demo about this Xmind in my upcoming video as well. Okay, so now I am using Xmind application to show you all in this very good way, with the help of creating some nodes. Along with that, each and every node we can have some child nodes as well. With this child nodes also we can create one more siblings as well. Okay, so now let's move to our the next, that is capturing the title of current page. Okay, so how we can capture the current title of the current page means, so here Selenium WebDriver provided get title method which will returns the title of the current browser window. Okay, and its return type is string. Okay, as we know already, Selenium WebDriver provided the get title method which will returns the title of the current browser window. For example, if I open facebook.com means, so it will show you the Facebook application, right? So there I am going to retrieve the title of that Facebook page. So how we can retrieve? With the help of driver.get title method. Okay, the help of get title method we can retrieve the title of the page, and also its return type is string format, sorry, string data type. Okay, so here you can see driver.get title method. Okay, so once it is done, I am going to minimize. So the next concept here is how we can capture the URL of the current page. Okay, so how we can capture the URL of the current page means, so here Selenium WebDriver offered one method called as get URL method which will returns the URL of the current page during runtime. Okay, so here Selenium WebDriver offered one method that is called as get URL method. This method will returns you the URL of the current web page during your runtime. Okay, how, what is the syntax for that one? To get the title of current page, sorry, to get the URL of the current page, with the help of get current URL we can get that URL of that current web application page during the runtime. Okay, so the next concept here is how to automate browser navigations. Okay, automating the browser navigations. Okay, so here you can see we can have different methods provided by Selenium. The first method here is driver.navigate.to of our URL. For example, if I want to, I open some Facebook application. From that Facebook application to, if I want to go back to some other application, that is Gmail application. Okay, during that time we have to mention first we need to open our Facebook application with the help of driver.get method. So once if your application got launched, so then next what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to my Gmail application, right? So during this time we are going to write a line called as driver.navigate.to URL method. So sorry, driver.navigate.to of that URL where you are going to navigate, that is Gmail application. Okay, so now we saw about how we can navigate to other application, that is Gmail application. Again I want to come back to my Facebook application. So how we can come back? With the help of back method we can navigate back to our Facebook application. Okay, from Gmail to we are going back to our Facebook application, right? So the next method here is how we can move forward. Okay, so for that there is one more method that is called as forward method. So in the same way, once if I done with my automation my application, I want to close my browser for that particular session. So how we can close? With the help of driver.close method, I'm going to close my all browser current session. Okay, with the help of driver.close method, I'm going to close all my current browser sessions, right? So in this way we can automating the browser navigations. Okay, so the next concept here is how to make, okay, how to make Selenium to identify the web elements present in a web page. Okay, how we can make Selenium to identify web elements present in a web page means, so here Selenium WebDriver provided find element and find elements method to recognize a element to perform some particular action, whether it will be click action or send keys, okay, or delete. Okay, so to perform all these actions, if I want to select any value from the drop down, if I want to accept any alert, so to perform all these actions, so we need to make Selenium to identify web elements, right? So to find the web elements with the help of find by element and with the help of find by elements, so we can with the help of find element and with the help of find elements, we can easily make Selenium to identify all the web elements present in a web page, right? So here you can see there are two methods, that is driver.findElement, the next method is here find elements. Okay, so that is about make Selenium to identify elements present in a web page. So the next concept here is inspecting properties of an element. Okay, inspecting properties of an element, right? Inspecting properties of an element, right? So here we have see here each and every browser, for example that is Chrome browser or Edge or IE browser or Firefox browser. Okay, for all these browsers, so for all these browser which are provided some built-in tool called as inspect elements. Okay, all these browsers providing some inbuilt tool called as inspect element to analyze the properties of an particular elements. Okay, so this inspect element is a little complex to use here. Okay, so here, okay, so here element properties remains the constant. For example, there is some element property like input as well as name or Xpath or CSS or value. Okay, so these are all the properties of that particular elements which are to be constant for each and every browser when you are trying to inspect. Okay, for example, if I am trying to inspect any web element on Chrome browser, okay, I will get some property. Okay, the same element I am going to inspect on some other browser, that is called as Chrome browser. So there also that element property is constant only, it is not going to change. Okay, those are not going to change. So in the same way, if you are working with Firefox means there we need to have some add-on called as Firebug. Okay, that is an add-on of Firefox browser which is a user friendly which is used to inspect HTML properties of an element. Okay, so at the same time we have Firepath as well, it is also extension for Firebug. Okay, which is used to view CSS and Xpath properties of an element. Okay, so next here you can see inspecting properties of an element. Here we have Firebug and Firepath. Under Firebug under Firepath, okay, under Firepath we can capture all the links of web page. Okay, for example, so with the help of these two add-ons we can able to inspect all the web elements present in that particular web page, right? So here the next one is Xpath. Okay, so what is Xpath here? Okay, what is XPath? XPath stands for XML path, which is a location of the web element in HTML or XML document, right? XPath stands for XML path, so which is the location of the element in both HTML or XML document, right? So here Selenium can use this XPath for finding the elements. Okay, with the help of this XPath we are going to find the elements present inside that web page, okay, with the help of Selenium, right? So when we are going to choose this XPath, okay, if an element does not has ID or name property, so then we are going to choose to use this XPath. Okay, so here we have to make some note. If an element has ID or property, Firebug will generate the XPath using this ID. Okay, for example, if there is an element which is having some ID property, so during that time if I am using Firebug means, so automatically this Firebug will generate some XPath with the help of this ID only. With the help of this ID property only, this Firebug is going to generate some XPath, right? And if an element does not have any ID, Firebug will automatically generate some XPath, that is called as absolute XPath. Means we need to mention from root to child, that is starting from HTML, following by body, following by input, following by class name or something. Okay, so that is called absolute XPath, means we need to mention the complete XPath. Okay, so different ways of finding the web elements. That first one here is absolute XPath, the next one here is partial XPath, the next one here is attributes XPath, and the next one here is we can make some conditions as well with the help of XPath functions and also with the help of regular expressions. Okay, so these are all the different ways to use this XPath. Okay, so then the next one is possible operations on text box element. Okay, possible operations on text box element. For example, there is some Google search bar, so what are all the different kinds of operations we can perform on that particular text box? The first one here is I can able to enter some data into that Google search bar. I can able to clear the data present inside that Google search bar by using of clear, and also I can able to handle some suggestions inside that Google search bar. For example, if I entered Selenium tutorial means, so there you are getting some suggestions, right? For example, Selenium tutorial for freshers, Selenium tutorial for beginners, Selenium tutorial for experienced candidates, Selenium tutorial for intermediate candidates, Selenium tutorial for non-technical candidates. Okay, so these are all the operations we can perform on the particular text box web element. Okay, so then the next concept here is automating the drop down list. Okay, automating the drop down list, right? So what is a drop down list? First of all, okay, what is a drop down list? A drop down list is also a web element. Inside the drop down list we can have uh, many number of options or many number of items. Okay, to get all these options or elements present inside the drop down means we have to use one select class. Okay, so here select is a tag name used to create a drop down list web element. Okay, and here option is a tag name used to define the elements present in a drop down list. Okay, so here Selenium WebDriver provided a select class. With the help of this select class we are going to provide a set of this select class provided set of predefined methods like select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Okay, here you can see selecting an item from the drop down and also counting a number of items present inside the drop down, and also checking specific element present or not inside that drop down list, and also checking values present in sequential order or not. Okay, when it comes to selecting an item means, so what else we are going to do? We are going to select that particular element with the help of select by index and also with the help of select by value, with the help of select by visible text. Okay, so when it comes to how we can count the number of items present, with the help of list of web elements, where list can store n number of list of items present inside that drop down list. Okay, this is how we can automate the drop down list with the help of select class. Okay, then the next concept here is automating the checkbox. Okay, how we can automating the checkbox? Okay, what are all the different actions performing in that particular checkbox means, first we can able to selecting a checkbox, right? And also we can able to deselect a checkbox, and also we can test whether that checkbox is already selected or not. Okay, how we can check whether that checkbox is already selected or not means, with the help of which method? With the help of isSelected method we can easily test whether the checkbox is selected or not. Okay, so then the next concept here is, let me minimize. Okay, then the next concept here is automating the radio buttons. Okay, so it is also like the same how we are automating drop down list and also how we are automating checkbox. Okay, so here what are all the different actions we can perform on this radio buttons means, we can select a radio button and also we can check whether that radio button is already selected or not with the help of isSelected method, and also we can test how many radio buttons are available on that particular web page, and also we can check whether that specific radio button is present or not. Okay, with the help of isDisplayed method. Okay, so then coming to the next concept called as automating HTML operations, automating the HTML table operations. Okay, first of all, what is a table here? A table is nothing but a web element only. So inside that web table we can have different rows and columns. With the help of rows only we are going to get the cell value, right? With the help of rows only we are going to get the cell value, what is that cell is containing, right? Okay, so what are the different operations we can perform on the HTML table means, first we can count number of rows present in a table. After that, at the same time we can count how many number of columns present in that particular row. After that, we can able to read the whole data present inside the table, and also we can test whether the specified data is present in that particular table or not. Okay, so these are all the operations we can able to perform on HTML table operations, right? So then the next concept here is automating calendar operations. Okay, so automating calendar operations. So these calendar operations, this calendar is also we can also called as HTML tables only. Okay, these calendars we can also called as HTML tables. Okay, one second. These calendars also we can call as HTML tables, and the dates which are displaying in calendars are TD elements in the tables. Okay, for example, if there is some date present inside that calendar means the date we can consider as TD element only, because that is a column. Okay, and to select a date from a calendar we need to find the TD element and perform the click operation. If I want to select the date, that is 13th of June of 2022 year, so this 13th date is also a column. So there I am going to perform some click operation to select that particular date. Okay, if any date if you want to select means we are going to perform click operation only. Where we are going to perform click operation, that is a particular date web element, that is called as TD web element. Okay, so in this way we can automate the calendar operation. So the next concept here is automating keyboard and mouse operations. Okay, automating keyboard and mouse operations. So we already know that Selenium WebDriver provided actions class, right? So this actions class provided a set of built-in methods such as send keys method, move to element method, double click method, drag and drop method, context click method, build method, perform method. Okay, with the help of this send keys method we can able to enter the test data into desired web element. At the same time, if I want to mouse over my cursor from one element to other element, okay, during that time we can use this move to element. So these are all the methods provided by actions class. This actions class, with the help of this actions class we are going to automate the keyboard and mouse operations. Okay, in the same way we can have build method and perform method as well. Okay, so here what is this build method will do, it will compiles the specified keyboard and mouse operations, then make our code to execute. Okay, so then make our code ready to execute. Okay, that is called as build method. Okay, so then the next method here is perform method. It will perform the compiled actions. Once build method done by anything, so those actions which are going to perform with the help of this perform method. Okay, so then what is our next one? The next concept here is handling frames. Okay, the next concept here is how we can handle the frames, right? So here what is a frame? A frame is nothing but a window within a window. We can call it as a iframe. Okay, if you want to inspect any frame, so how we will know whether it is a frame or not? So with the help of for each and frame, how we can recognize means, if that particular web element having the tag called as iframe, so then we can consider it as a iframe or we can consider it as a frame. Okay, if you want to make Selenium to find elements inside a frame, we have to switch the driver focus to that particular frame. Okay, how we can switch? With the help of, you can see here, with the help of driver dot switch to dot particular frame, we can easily switch our driver focus to that particular frame. How we can identify that is a frame or not? If that particular web element is containing the tag name called as iframe, so then that will be a frame. Okay, so what are the different operations, like how to switch to that particular frame means with the help of frame index we can switch our driver focus to that particular frame, with the help of frame name, and also with the help of frame element. Okay, with the help of these three elements we can easily switch our driver focus to that particular frame element. Okay, and also if I want to switch back to my main frame, okay, how we can switch back means with the help of driver dot switch to dot parent frame, we can easily switch back to the main frame. Okay, so then the next concept here is how to handle the alerts or pop-up windows. Okay, so here with the help of driver dot switch to dot alert, we can easily move our driver focus to particular alert. So on the alert, what are the different actions we can perform? So to accept an alert, we can have one accept method. If you want to decline that alert, we can have one method called as dismiss method. Okay, with the help of these two methods, we can able to handle the alerts or pop-up windows. Okay, so then the next concept here is how to handle multiple windows. Okay, how we can handle the multiple windows? For example, if you want to make Selenium find elements present in a new window, for example, there is one window. Once if I click on a particular web element on this particular currently opened window, so what will happen? It is giving me one more window. So during this time I want to switch my driver focus to parent frame to child window, because on the child window I am going to perform some actions, right? So for that, first what we need to do, we have to switch our driver focus to that particular child window. From where we are switching that focus? From parent window to child window, right? So during this time we need to mention that window id. Okay, we need to mention the window id of child window, so then only we can move move our driver focus to the child window. Okay, we can move our driver focus from parent window to child window. Okay, to do that one, we can use driver dot switch to dot window of your child window id. At the same time, if I want to get my current current window id means, so how we can get the current window id? With the help of driver dot get window handle method, we can able to get the current window id, and also it will return you the string data type. Okay, it will return you in the form of string data type. Okay, for example, if there are multiple windows are there, okay, I want to retrieve all those window ids. The help of get window handles, we can able to get all the window ids. Okay, so to achieve that one, we have to use this driver dot get window handles method. Okay, so after that, automating the windows components using auto IIT or Sikili or robot class. Okay, here I will tell you about only auto IIT, how we can automate the windows components. For this I have already made one dedicated video in our channel. If you want, you can check out that video as well, how to automate windows components using of auto IIT. Okay, so here also if you are using auto IIT, so first here is installing auto IIT. The next one is what are all the different features of auto IIT. So what are all the different features of auto IIT? The first feature is auto IIT window info, the next feature is site script editor, the next feature is run script, and the next feature is compile script. Okay, so these are all the features of auto IIT. And calling .exe file from Java. So how we can call means with the help of runtime dot get runtime dot executable of your file path. Okay, so this is about calling exe file from Java. Okay, here I am not going to cover the whole concepts of auto IT and its components. I am just giving you the syllabus about auto IT. Okay, so the next concept here is Testng. Okay, so the next concept here is Testng, right? So we know already Testng are using by many projects till to date as well. So first here is Testng is a testing framework inspired from JUnit, provided many powerful features for executing Java program units, right? So here we can see first feature of Testng. Okay, first concept here is inside Testng is what are the features of Testng? Okay, what are the features of Testng? The next concept is what are the different annotations we have inside our Testng, and the next concept under Testng is how we can skip methods from the execution. The next concept is assertions. What are the different assertions we can perform with the help of Testng? The first assertion is assert dot equals of method, assert true method, and assert false. Okay, with the help of all these three methods we can able to perform assertion. So here assertions means validations, okay, that is expected and actual are matching or not. Okay, so the next concept here is how we can create a test suite or testng.xml file. The next here is executing test suite sequentially or executing test suite parallelly, how we can execute. Okay, then the next one here is defining parameters in testng.xml file. If you can see how we can define parameters for testng at suite level. At the same time we can define parameters for testng at test level also. Okay, so that is about defining parameters. The next one here is testng listeners. Okay, the next concept is how to terminate execution if any test case got failed at suite level. Okay, how we can terminate the execution if any one of the test case got failed at suite level. Okay, so these are all the concepts which are coming under Testng concept. Okay, so then the next concept here is automation test framework. Okay, so as an automation test engineer, so we have to, sometimes we will get some chance to build your framework from scratch level. Sometimes in real time you can reuse the existing framework which is already developed by one of your teammate, right? So for this, what are the different kinds of frameworks which are available in our automation means? The first one is Testng framework, the next one is data driven framework, the next one is keyword driven framework, the next one is hybrid framework, and the next one is page object model, or we can call it as framework or design pattern as well. Okay, so then the next concept here is how to automate Microsoft Excel operations using Apache Py. Okay, so here you can see with the help of Apache Py we can able to we can able to perform the operations like read and write operations on XLSX files, right? So in that way, so what are the different operations we can perform? The first operation here is we can able to add specified sheet into a particular workbook, and also we can able to count how many number of rows are present inside that particular sheet. Okay, and also we can count how many number of columns. At the same time we can read the data from the Excel sheet, and at the same time we can write some data into Excel sheet. At the same time we can fill the cells with different colors. Like if my test case is passing, I want to fill my cell with the color called green, and also if my test case is failing at one step means I want to fill my cell color with red color. So how we can fill the colors with the help of in the XLSS documents. Okay, so that also we can see. And what is a data driven framework here, and how we can test our application with the help of @data provider annotation inside this data driven framework, and also keyword driven framework, and also hybrid driven framework, sorry, and also hybrid framework, which is a combination of two frameworks. Either it will be keyword driven, data driven page object model, keyword driven, modular driven, data driven, modular driven, which means hybrid framework means it is a combination of two frameworks. Okay, it is a combination of two frameworks. So then the next concept here is page object model. Okay, it is a very most commonly using framework in real time projects till to date. So that's why it is famous for each and every project from automation point of view. Okay, the first what we need to learn here is what is find by annotation, and also what is page factory class, and also what is init element, and why do we need constructor in our page object model in Selenium. Okay, so these are all the concepts we have to know about page object model, right? So then the next concept here is Selenium database testing. Okay, so from hybrid framework, page object model, and automating operations, Excel operations, so these and all I have already made dedicated videos. If you want, you can check about all these from our channel. Okay, I have already uploaded many videos about these concepts. Okay, so then the next concept here is Selenium database testing. Okay, what is the need of Selenium database testing in Selenium, and also how we can install the MySQL database, and also how we can configure this MySQL inside with our Eclipse, and also how we can create a table with the help inside this MySQL database, and also how we can test the data present in MySQL database along with the UI test data, and also what is a JDBC, and why we need to use this JDBC. Okay, so these are all the concepts we have to see under Selenium database testing. Okay, so then the next concept here is how to automate text files or file operations in Java. Okay, how we can read data from text files and how we can write data into text files. Okay, so these two will comes under automating text files or file operations in Java. Okay, then the next concept here is Firefox profile concept in Selenium. Okay, then the next concept here is synchronization techniques. Okay, what are all the different synchronization techniques we have inside our Selenium automation point of view. The first one here is implicitly wait, when we will use this implicitly wait. The next one is explicitly wait, when we will use this explicitly wait. Then the next synchronization is fluent wait. Okay, what is the use of this fluent wait? Okay, these are all comes under synchronization techniques. And the next one is Selenium grid. Okay, so what is a Selenium grid and how we can operate this Selenium grid and what purpose we are going to use this Selenium grid. Mainly there are two terms we need to remember. The first one is hub and the node. Okay, here hub is nothing but creating a hub, how we can create a hub and what is this hub called as. Okay, then the node means configuring node with hub. Okay, so I am not going to discuss about these concepts in brief because it is the tutorial for complete syllabus of our Selenium tool. Okay, then what is a Maven? Configuring Maven in Eclipse, creating Maven project in Eclipse, adding dependencies in pym.xml file, that is project object management.xml file, and what is form.xml file, and how we can work with different kinds of environments with the help of Maven profiles. Okay, that is all about Maven concept. And the next one here is Jenkins. Okay, installation and configuration of Jenkins, how to create a first job, how to build a job, and what is continuous integration tool here, and what is the syntax of continuation integration tool. Okay, for continuous integration, sorry. And the next concept here is properties file concept. Okay, so means properties file concept means if I want to store my application URL, if I want to store my application credentials, if I want to store my DB credentials, if I want to store my browser related. So for example, if I want to launch my browser with Edge browser, how we can store inside my properties file. If I want to launch my browser with Chrome browser, so how we can maintain all those information in properties file. Okay, that is all about property file concept. And the next concept is extend report. By defaultly in Selenium we don't have any default feature to generate reports from Selenium, so that's why we have to depend upon like Testng reports, extend reports, LU reports, ATU reports. Okay, so these are all comes under reporting purpose, but it's better to have knowledge about extend report. Okay, so then how we can log the results with the help of log4j. And the next concept here is how to capture the screenshot for failed steps, and also how we can capture the screenshot for past steps or methods. So how to capture whole page for failed steps, how to capture only failing web element. With the help of assured dependency, how we can capture the whole web page screenshot if there are any failures or if there are any past methods. Okay, so then the last concept here is GitHub concept. Okay, if you are working with a project where you can have more number of people like 4 or 5 members in your team, so during that time to avoid coding conflicts, during the time to avoid time wastage, and also during that time we can use GitHub for code reviewing also. Okay, so these are all the concepts, complete syllabus. Okay, these are the complete syllabus which are present inside our Selenium automation testing. Okay, so maximum to maximum I covered each and every concept here. Okay, first I covered this one, downloading and configuring, like I covered each and every concept from this list of syllabus. Okay, so that's all it for now, guys. So I hope this complete syllabus will give you some overview about the Selenium automation testing. Okay, there is nothing to worry about to learn Selenium automation testing. Okay, because it is quite simple and easy to learn all these concepts. Okay, but this is not enough for you to crack the Selenium automation test engineer interview. Okay, at the same time you have to know about your core Java concepts, and also you have to be very well on writing the logical skills, on writing the logical programs, and also you have to very well in implementing the logicals. Okay, logical programming, I mean writing some logical programming. And also it is better to have very good knowledge about different concept present inside Java if you want to become a very good tester, automation tester. Okay, so that's all it for now, guys. I hope this video will helps you a bit. Okay, this is all about the overview of Selenium course full syllabus. Okay, if you follow what I mentioned here, then it will be easy for you to get a good job as an automation test engineer in coming days for you. Okay, if you found this video helpful for you, please drop a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are new to here. And also please don't forget to share this video to your friends or colleagues so that they will also learn the concepts what we discussed till now. Okay, so that's all it for now, guys. We will meet with our next video from our channel. Until then, take care everyone. Have a nice day. Signing off, Selenium Tech Automation. Thank you so much, guys.